some of us were surprised when the state Supreme Court agreed to hear the case, because the Superior Court had rejected Cosby's appeal, and somewhat emphatically. And so a few months later, when the state Supreme Court agreed to take it, we were really wondering, those of us who followed these court rulings and cases, wondered whether they wanted to, clarify how many accusers can testify in these kinds of trials, Me Too trials, et cetera, or some other issue in the case, or perhaps they were interested in seeing whether Cosby had gotten a fair trial, and that indeed was their intention. In his first trial in 2017, when the jury deadlocked, only one other accuser had been allowed to testify. And at his retrial, the same judge allowed 5 other women to testify and say that Cosby had drugged and assaulted them. And some legal scholars thought that, the judge might not have had sound reason for changing that number. And the court today said that decision was moot because Cosby never should have been prosecuted in the first place because of this prior agreement that he believed he had with the prior DA. Then District Attorney Bruce Castor, who, by the way, later became President Trump's lawyer during the impeachment. So that's a historical footnote there, if you will. But he said that the announcement of this agreement with Cosby, this non-prosecution agreement, was the press release he gave back at the time, saying he was not going to prosecute him. He said he intended for that decision to be for all time, that it was infinite. However, right there in the press release, prosecutors later argued, it said that the decision could be revisited. So some would argue, certainly, later prosecutors argued that there was a great deal of perhaps contradiction and confusion as to just what happened and just what the legal ramifications of that are.